Just played a session here at the Venetian. I'm not allowed to video. Wasn't planning on videoing anything anyway, but I did get into a few interesting hands, and I think I'm going to start doing this kind of thing once a week because I'm playing almost every day now, and I want to put out some content. This is just kind of an easy way for me to fill you guys in on what I'm doing. The last time I did a video like this, I punted off 2,500 at Bellagio. Today, things are a little bit better. Ended up winning about 950 at the Venetian. I was stuck 400 at one point. Just running really cold, didn't pick up any hands, and maybe lost 100 or 200 that I didn't have to do. I was just kind of frustrated and maybe tilted off a little bit. But this hand came late in the session. I pick up pocket kings in the big blind. I'd been 3-betting pretty regularly, and I had, you know, a decent image, I guess, but probably like a little bit of a aggressive image. So the under the gun player opens at 15, player in middle position calls, the cutoff calls, and the small blind calls. I have pocket kings. I 3-bet to 100, and the under the gun player thinks a little while. We had a little bit of history. We got involved in some hands together. He makes the call, and the middle position player calls as well. The other players fold, so we go 3 ways to the flop. The flop comes ace king 10 with 2 hearts, ace and king of hearts. So I'm not too worried about the flush draw. I've got middle set. I bet 150. The under the gun player calls, and the middle position player folds. So we're heads up now. The turn is 10, which I was really happy about. I wasn't, like I said, I wasn't worried about the flush draw, but I really didn't want to see a jack or a queen on the turn. The 10 is a perfect card. I bet 250. So I chose this sizing because it's gonna get a lot of calls. It's kind of small, and the sizing works out well because if the opponent calls, he's only gonna have 550 left, which is perfect for a river jam. So it sets that up nicely. The opponent tanks, makes the call. The river is the deuce of hearts, so the flush draw gets there. I put in 600 in the middle, so that's a little bit more than the player had. And he tanked for 2 minutes. Someone called the clock on him. I'm thinking he probably has something like ace queen. Hard for me to imagine he has anything worse. There shouldn't be too many 10s in his range, and he shouldn't really have any flushes when he calls 100 pre-flop and after he opens from under the gun. So eventually he calls. I turn over the set of kings, actually the full house. It's good. We win a pot that's a little over 2K, and that was great. Then a few hands later, I pick up pocket jacks in the small blind. A player limps in. I raise to 20. That player then jams for 220. I make the call. He asks if I have a big pair, and I say, yeah, I have jacks. I roll it over, and he says he has ace high, and I said, do you want to flip it over and just so we can sweat it together? And he says, no, it's bad luck if I flip it over. The flop comes out 9-5-4 with 2 hearts. Turn is the ace of spades, and a river is the 8 of diamonds. So he wins about a $500 pot there. But yeah, it was a good session, and now it's time to head home.